Alright, testing 1 2 1 2. Alright, testing 1 2 1 2. Okay, welcome to the stream. Like and subscribe. Let's hop right in and begin the game of the Stanley Parable.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was
Sorry, had to save what I had.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
What happens if we just don't move here and just stand sit here? Because I feel like, yeah, they want us to move, right? What if I just... Nah, we gotta play the game. Okay. What the...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Why did my office just close behind me?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting room it is, I guess? Can I not? Okay, guess not. Interesting. It's kind of creepy if you ask me, gamers, going through here and there's like nothing wood.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But like, you can't go wrong going right, right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he
I
wanted
heard
to
him,
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
He's right. I did want to stop by the employee
Yes,
lounge.
truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yeah. Alright, guess we're going.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
But like, you know, that doesn't seem like my business, so I'm gonna go to the first open door.
He detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
But like, big red button. Big red button? Big red button? Oh, okay. I don't know how to press anything in the game. Anywho, let's keep going. Is this the
Yet
room?
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside. Take out passive aggression on another coworker. Reset okay. Make sure your slides have slick blue graphic header and thrown okay. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Oh, they understand me. Number of slides on this slides. Charts and slides. Nice. Why is charts bigger than charts? And you know what? You have a nice day. Can I go? Can I go in the? Okay, guess not.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, but like, I gotta see what's downstairs. Right? This is spooky. Never mind. He's right. I did walk upstairs to my boss's office. Executive bathroom. No assistant here either, huh?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course,
why did he just tell me
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So, is this like some Batman shit? Why is this so big? Why is the passageway? You know, I'm not gonna ask. You just asked, but like, come on. Do I go down the elevator? It seems like our only way to go. It won't let me jump, so I guess we go down the elevator. Why could I crouch but I can't jump? Oh, loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Why did you send sparks my way, good sir?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay. We'll believe the good man. You know what? Screw you. I feel like he's trying to trap us. Okay, so where are we gonna go? Towards the escape. To the escape we go.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, Vita's falling to her doom. Oh, I see. We're trapped here.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his
Oh
demise,
no, we should have went to the factory.
Of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell,
Well then.
Stanley.
Well, this is us now. Wait, what?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh? Oh. I'm still alive.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would
Parable?
restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What's going on right now?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making
Whoa.
life the same.
What did we do, gamers?
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What? What is this? The office? It was all a simulation, Stanley. It doesn't exist, Stanley. What? The two doors. Okay. I guess we're gonna go to the mind control factory next, but like, what have we done? What are you? Button sounds? Nah. Judge me not. What is this? It's our computer. Oh, here's the credit. Did we really beat the game that quickly, gamers? Nice. Warzone, what? Is this all the stuff we could have experienced if we didn't escape? Will the game features? Okay. I didn't know this museum was possible. And I have played the Stanley Parable before, but I've never went to the escape door. I am not gonna lie to you. That was a little creepy. Now I'm kind of curious. What is through this door?
Oh,
why are you
look
laughing?
at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another.
Okay, I just shut off the
How
game.
they both wish
Can
to
I
be
just-
free.
Oh,
you
did I just
see?
end it all?
Can you
Oh,
see how much they need one another?
oh no.
Perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation.
What?
There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only...
Wait a minute. Yes. We quit the menu. Did it save us? She's right.
This is the story of a man named...
We've already done this. So I didn't get the achievement for that one, because I didn't shut my PlayStation off. I'll do that on my own
All
time.
of his co-workers were gone. What
But
did it mean?
we are going to go back
Stanley
through
decided
and
to
do
go
it
to
the
meeting
narrator's
room.
way.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content?
Nope.
What does that mean? New content. When Stanley came to a set of two open
We got to do it the
doors,
narrator.
he
We got to
entered
go the way
door
the narrator
left.
wanted us. Then we'll go check out the new content, right? But apparently I can just shut off the
Yet
game.
there was not a single person
I
here
did not know I
either.
could do that. I'm going to do that
Feeling a
later.
wave of
In my own time,
disbelief,
gamers.
Stanley decided to Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
Don't worry, gamers, we're speedrunning to it. But I do feel like if I would have shut my console completely off in that entire situation, I would have gotten something for it. I'm gonna try that next go around. That's how we're gonna end the stream, gamers. I promise you that. That is how we are gonna end the stream. I will shut the system completely off just for you guys, just to get that achievement. With that being said,
Stanley walked straight
we gotta go to the mind
large
control factory.
door that read Mind Control Facility.
I said factory, didn't I?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I mean, yeah, if it's here to stop me from doing what I need to do, I'm blowing this place up, man. Don't worry about it. Yes, what is this?
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature.
Hey, what's going on here?
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place.
Where's us? Is that us? At 491? Where's us? Fired? What? Someone's gotten fired. Huh. What do you do?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Who
was
got
this the only
fired?
reason he was happy with
That
his
poor
boring
dude.
job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Does he really want us to put us to our doom? What is you?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had
Apparently.
he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yeah, I mean, do you not see where we're at right now?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Sure, but how does one do that? Do I just go through here? Power. Mind control, idle, awaiting input.
And when at last
I think I just killed him. I didn't even let him finish. The poor crow.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
Oh, is this how I actually get out?
From someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand.
Yeah, I followed his act perfectly to a T.
No longer would anyone tell him.
Now we're gonna go mess with him the entire time, and then in the end, we're gonna take the escape route, right?
Whatever life he lives, it
and
will be his.
Just shit off the system
And that
entirely.
was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Was he though? Because this world looks nothing like an office world would be in. The end is never the... Okay. Hello? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, new content.
Oh,
Don't mind if I do.
Content? What does that mean? New content.
Whoa. Why am I being taken? Isn't this the death machine thing?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Yeah, the one I own.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Can I not go down? Oh, okay.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I think we're about to get dropped entirely.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Or, oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long
last,
last,
expecting
it's
to go down, not up.
New content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Why is it white?
All right. All right, let's see it.
Jumps remaining
jump
36.
circle?
I can jump. I can jump. I can jump. You can never jump in this game. Cause look, I bet you if I exit the circle, I can't jump. I go inside. I can jump. I can jump. Yay! Yay! Oh. Oh. Okay. I was enjoying that.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And
Yeah.
Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes.
Yes,
I knew
I
there
knew.
had to be something else.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah, of
see
course
it.
you did. What is that?
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying
That's
the...
it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, he just fully reset the game on himself. But it looks different. Why does it look different? There's my office.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Fine, I'll come to the vent. Why not? Seriously, why not? Coffee nut. Okay. Did you just knock us out?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What in the Skyrim is going on here?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Oh, okay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October
I'm
of
on
2013,
PlayStation right now.
when the game originally launched. Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
New video game released today. Creator surprisingly down to earth. 50% off. Okay. Okay, 70. Oh, that'd be cool. Good. This is.
And over here,
This isn't my song. Do not copyright me. This is not my song.
Like
I'm sorry.
Stunning triumph of
It's from the game Stanley Parable.
10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Okay. Well, I can't go here. Memory zone maintenance. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to go there later. I'm not sure. What are these? Is that Elvis? Elvis and his wife. I don't know, physically. No, that's Stanley, ain't it? Is that the only good look we get of Stanley's face? Interesting.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game.
What?
9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Alrighty then. I can't go this way. So, problem, Mr. Soar. We can't go that way, so...
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Maybe. Oh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Let's see, anything else good around here?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't.
Maybe.
Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is
He's
a
gonna
game
keep talking,
for the
isn't he?
people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes
Jesus
something
Christ.
like this. The story and the choices.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Really?
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12
Yep.
hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the...
Yeah?
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
How long has it
Stanley,
been?
I think
How long
it's
has it been?
a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting...
Oh.
Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
Yep.
There's only...
Poor dude. Poor guy. Poor guy. He's given up, hasn't he? Narrator? Narrator? The narrator's gone.
But they
He's
didn't
gone.
understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely...
Yeah, we'll just skip that one again. Oh, I think we upset him. He's not talking anymore. Is there a way we can end this? Or is this like an endless loop? Maybe. I don't know. Try it one more time. Maybe. Maybe not.
End is never the end, 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 is never the end.
He's gonna keep saying that.
End is never the end, is never the end, is...
Yeah? Hello? Anyone there? No? Is the clock still going? Okay. Skip again? What the fuck happened? What happened? Oh no. Oh no. It's light out now. Try it one more time. Sorry, I got distracted there. Oh, it's beauty now. Nice. Oh, now it's nothing? Do we get buried? Okay. That's scary. Whoa. Whoa. Can I press that? I can't. No way. It's over. We escaped. The guy is not here. There's nothing here. There's literally nothing. Can we press it again? We can. Does that let us free? No. No, it doesn't. What happens if we... Well, we can't jump. There's nothing here anymore. Whoa. What just happened, gamers? We're back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I guess
Stanley
that was
decided
the
to go to
new
the meeting room.
stuff.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Okay, so you said new content, right? What's the new content? Is it a bigger jump
Stanley,
counter?
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
The Stanley Parable, what?
Yes, you see.
What?
Isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
The Stanley Parable 2? I mean, I'd love it.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Like what? Collectibles? Free new plus EV trophy. Get it here? What? Yeah. Free trophy. Pull the lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Unlock it. I want it unlocked. I want it unlocked. Please. 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 Okay. Fine. Break my heart, why don't you? Shatter it in two, why don't you? All I wanted was a test trophy, man. That's all I wanted.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Why does it look like that?
Stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Six. Okay. Collect them all. Yeah. Okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
The infinite hole. What happens if we jump into the infinite hole, people? Oh, the jump circle is back.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Please. 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 I want to jump. Okay. You know, it's a little sad. You know, we on the jump circle the first time, and what is this? No screen. What?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm
screenshotting everything.
Get well someday and happy 12th birthday. Which would you go with?
I'm trapped. Oh, okay. 12th birthday. Keep well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
He was going to choose the opposite of no matter what we chose. So I'm kind of glad I took screenshots to the place that said no screenshots.
Actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Can I have this? Free merch? No? Okay. Can't even get that trophy down there. I might try one more time. Keep pulling the lever, see what happens. I might just look it up just to see if you keep pulling the lever, will you ever get the trophy? I'm looking it up. It becomes functional afterward, it said. So we gotta finish the epilogue, gamers. That being said, the dark abyss of the infinite hole we come. It's gonna go down an infinite hole. It's nothing to concern ourselves about.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
I mean, I know it's an infinite hole, so like this will happen, but...
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
I just don't want to don't see that anymore.
Sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? Did you not finish the infinite hole?
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
That's a bottom.
From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
No, you're the problem.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting until you call the hole a hole. I don't think he's going to call the hole a hole.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
It wasn't infinite. He lied to us. The hole wasn't infinite. How dare him make a hole, an infinite hole, but not make an infinite? I see how it is. What? Hear your name in the game?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Okay, guys, I guess we're
Let's
Jim.
take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to... Jim. Whoa, hold on.
God.
I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
It is a stupid button that says
we're
somebody
doing
else's
it
name.
again, and this time let me finish first.
Have at it.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for
Okay, dude, you have to
popcorn
shut
and horror
up.
movie. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
You're welcome.
Jim. See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
No.
Jim.
No.
Jim.
No. No. He took our Jim away. He took our Jimmy away. Man, you make me want to cry. He took away Jim.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable too. They would appreciate what I've created here.
A whole new office? No screenshots. Cool. Cool. Oh, there's the exit. I want to try the lever again. You know what? Yeah, let's try the lever again. Okay. Hurts my feelings, but okay. To the exit is. Wait a minute, there's more stuff over here. What am I doing? What am I doing? We're going up here, that's what we're doing. Because I remember the stairway. Oh. Never mind. See how it's gonna be. So rude. So rude. You are here. Man, shut up. Oh, okay. No, those are nice-ish. They're okay.
Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit.
Oh,
you see, there's a surprise
the
that we're
bucket.
going to spring on you later.
The bucket.
And it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Where's the bucket? We've been everywhere else but the bucket. Where's the bucket exhibit? The bucket. The bucket. The bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal. Perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. It's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Yes.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
We got a buggy. We got the buggy. We got the buggy.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I feel like you want this to go towards a trophy then. No. Alright. Worth a shot. I just want that trophy, man. Man. How dare you, man. Make me cry. Okay, I guess we'll just go to the exit. See how it is. Oh look, there's the office. Look at that.
So, Stanley,
hello?
What do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right?
Jump circle.
It's sort of...
Jump circle.
Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh, I guess we're playing this. Ooh. Begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
And Stanley,
and then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something
Stanley
that would
Parable
forever
2.
change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No.
I skipped him. Anywho.
All of his
Here's the Stanley
co-workers were
Parable
gone.
2.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Where's the bucket? To be. Oh.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Hey, we got the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Well, doesn't even notice it, but he's gonna put it in there anyways.
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was
Why is
the
it
bucket guiding
dark
him?
now?
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Hey!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay, fair enough.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yes, the bucket is making sure we're all right. The bucket doesn't even want us to escape.
Walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control
No need to
Facility.
escape. But is there anything down there we can pick it up? Nope, okay. We don't need to escape the bucket. Now when we don't have the bucket, we will escape.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Why is the bucket knowing that why is it sentient?
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds
Who
of
got
things
fired? Like,
does
seriously.
the bucket want to do
Who did they
or
fire?
not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
We love the bucket. The bucket is our friend.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Is there any of those around here?
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy
really
comment
cool way
about taking down the system.
I mean, we gotta take it down now if the bucket says so. We gotta do what the bucket says. We did a bucket.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
We did it.
Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
What?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I?
Yeah.
Stanley gulped.
We'll be fine.
Very soon now, he was about to find out.
We had the bucket. We lost the bucket. We were trapped. I think it's time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
We don't take the right one.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
and for as many times as I heard that code, I still don't remember it. We will go to the office. We will go to his office. We will go to the escape. There will be a reward for finding them all. A pirate, but smelly. Oh, cool. Too sad we're not going to find him. At least not in this video. If you guys want me to find him in this video,
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket
feel free
walked upstairs to
to
the
ask.
boss's office.
Just put it in the comment section below, gamers. Here's another one.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This,
I can find him.
There really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs.
Next video,
What
we will
about
find them all, gamers.
Stanlerines?
If
yes,
you want me
I think
to.
I like that. Another
not,
Stanlerine
I won't.
under your belt.
But if you want me to, gamers, I will find them all. You just need 3 more. So it's up to you guys. Comment section below saying you guys want me to find them. I will find them. Okay, guys? Alrighty.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Okay.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
It said there will be a reward. But that's just the next go around, gamers. It's just the next go around. If you guys want me to find them all, I will. But this is already a long video. So with that being said,
Stanley
like,
and the
subscribe,
bucket
and
walked straight
enjoy.
ahead through the large door
And if we
that
find them
read,
all,
Mind
we'll find
control.
them all.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Well then, would you look at that? Blop.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
Yeah.
Farewell, Stanley.
Cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Alright, and away we go.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true
But
that
what-
all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket was amazing. The bucket. The bucket.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
The bucket. Inferno buckets. Everyone loves the bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
Oh, okay.
The bucket shall take its place as ruler.
Never mind, I said I was gonna do something, but I guess not.
A new world, a new vision.
Don't worry, we're still gonna do that part. We're just going to go through that entire sequence again and then just close the entire game.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by
Yes, we
himself
passed at the bucket.
and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Damn, they want me to find them. Well, gamers, I guess it's up to you guys. If you want me to find them all or
Coming
not.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blind. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay, this time, we shut the game. I said I'd do it. I'm gonna do it.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell. Have a nice day.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every
Yada 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 yada. We've been here
killing
before.
him
Hurry up.
Instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When
He doesn't know. I'm just going to ignore everything here and just
long in advance,
casually just leave the entire
becomes
place.
Meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start? Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this
Okay,
game.
bye-bye. Guys, having a good day. Thank you for watching.